this palette. This is my first time using this from Fearless Beaute or Fearless Beauty, however you announce it. But it's their Girl Qualities palette, and it is a pinky purple palette. My favorite color story in the world, of course. And so I'm using this to get ready as I'm talking about this movie, The Burning. I haven't done a get ready with me with a scary movie review in a while, but let's get back into it. So we are talking about The Burning. This movie came out in 1981, and it is a movie that is based on or taking inspiration from the New York urban legend about this maniac named Cropsey, and how he would kill, I think, children, because this is based in a summer camp, the movie. And so this movie, again, like I said, came out in 1981, so it's an 80s slasher film, which is like one of my favorite things to watch ever. I love slashers, and for some reason I just love the 80s slashers. They're amazing. I like 90s slashers too. Like, slasher genre is probably one of my favorite from the horror. I think it is. Yeah, it is my favorite genre for horror. So I can always enjoy a slasher film. But The Burning is what we're going to be getting into today. So I just went ahead and wrote down some information about this movie to share with you guys. So this one, again, 1981 slasher film, American slasher film. The rating for this on Rotten Tomatoes, which ratings don't mean everything. Critic reviews don't mean everything, but it's just information to share. But the Rotten Tomatoes rating is 88%, so the majority of people enjoyed this slasher film. It's not super popular though. I just found out about this film from one of my favorite YouTubers here who does movie reviews and a lot of horror content. The channel name is Drumdums. His name is Lee. I'm also follow him on some other social media apps as well. But he talked about this movie a lot, and he shared some of his favorite scenes from it. I don't know if he did a review on it. Probably he already did, but I know that he's talked about it. That's where I heard about this film from. And so I had never heard about this film though before then. So it's quite obscure and probably only very well known within the horror community. But yeah, so it has an 88% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So I guess critics and in general those who in the horror field like this movie or think it is like, you know, it's good. So that's the rating. It is starring the people that are acting, obviously the stars in there are Brian Matthews, Brian Backer, Leah Aries, probably said that wrong, and Lou David. And the basic synopsis of this story is about this caretaker who gets a prank done on him by the kids at the camp. Pretty typical, you know, start off of a plot, right? And the prank goes horribly wrong. So we see this type of plot in several different horror movies. I saw this also in, what is that movie? Where they did a prank on the, like, nerdy boy, and it's like the whole movie is him getting revenge, but at the end it's like all in his mind or something. I reviewed that one, I believe, on my channel. But similar plot, like where this revenge, the prank goes wrong, and so the kids do a prank where they light something on fire or something, and it goes wrong, and the caretaker, whose name is Cropsey, gets horribly burned, and he is just disfigured because of this. And so then years later we see the plot start to come, the revenge come in, where he comes back and he's going to take revenge for those that were responsible for his disfigurement and for this prank go wrong at this summer camp. And I don't think that it's actually the kids that did the prank. I think it's one as a like a camp counselor now, I believe. I think that was what it was. But I don't think these are the actual kids that did the prank on him, because it's like years later. So it's kind of like one of those things like Jason killing camp counselors because they're at Camp Crystal Lake, but they're not actually the ones that were responsible for him drowning. Does that make sense? Or like Jason's mom killing kids, but it wasn't actually those kids that we're not watching her son. So I think it's that type of situation. But he's killing kids at this summer camp. I guess because he feels like they're responsible. So that's basically the synopsis for this movie. And how was my first time viewing it? What did I think about it? Does it deserve that 88, good fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Let's get into it. So far, this palette is very smooth, easily to blend out. I'm going to go into the shimmer shades now, though. Alright, so how was my first time viewing The Burning? What did I think about it? So, number one thing I want to start off with is the kills. Is there some solid kills in this movie? And the answer to that is yes, there is. These are some really, really good kills. I think they did a really solid job. Like, the effects are good. It looks scary. It looks real. And there's some really brutal kills in this, like, turn your head away type of kills, which is, you don't always get in horror movies. And it's not always needed, obviously. You don't have to have those kills in every type of horror movie for it to be a good horror movie. But I think they did a really good job of showing how brutal this guy is, this Cropsey maniac, with the kills and with how brutal he was with it. Yeah, like one of the highlight kills is the raft one. Oh my goodness, that was intense. Like, that was really intense. Like, I was even like cringing because it was super brutal with all of these kids dying all at once. We don't really see that. Usually with slashers, you get like a couple at a time, or usually it's just one person that's getting stalked or killed at a time, and they get picked off one by one, sometimes unknowing to the other people, the characters, that they're getting killed off. This one, all at once, they were on this raft because they were stranded, trying to get back to the camp, and he just comes through and kills everybody with like these big old shears. It's crazy. I did talk about this movie in another Get Ready With Me, but I didn't do a review. But yeah, I talked about that kill too. That's crazy. So the kills in this are actually pretty solid. Like, they're solid kills. Like, I don't think there was anything that I can say bad about that. So, like, solid A+ right there. Let's go ahead and talk about Cropsey now. He's our main villain in this, and I think they did a really good job with him. You don't really see him ever until the end, which, sorry, spoilers here, so if you haven't seen this movie, you probably want to click off this video. But you don't ever really see him until the end to see, like, what actually happened, like the disfigurement and all that stuff. But I think where we do see, like, we're seeing him, like, in that type of view where the camera is following the killer type of thing, where we see it from the killer's point of view. And I think they did a good job with that because the way the kills are done, it really shows you how brutal the killer is and how he's just a straight up maniac. Like, Cropsey should definitely be in some of the top villains just from how this movie played out. And I think they did a really good job with him. It was sufficient, right? He was brutal. Brutal. And then when we get the reveal at the end and we see the disfigurement, I think that was really well done as well, because it does give you sort of like a shock. And I think it was really well done. So Cropsey is definitely a solid antagonist, and I definitely am going to always enjoy when I watch this movie to the villain, the antagonist part of it is really well done. And you almost kind of get like, I mean, you do know who the killer is, but you got a lot of different subplots going on with this movie. Like, we got bullies, we got this little kind of kid that's kind of a little weird, and so you never really know, like, until the end, is it really Cropsey doing all this? Because it's been implied that, and it really is him. So that was nice too, because throughout it, like, for my first time watching for the first experience, I was like, is it really Cropsey doing all this, or is it like one of these camp kids? Like, what's going on? Because we never see the killer, and at the end it really was him, which I thought was brilliant as well, because you kind of keeps you on your toes of like, who's really doing the killing here? And it's him. So I think that was really great. And I think it was good that they used another thing that's great about the Cropsey killer here is that they're using this based on an urban legend that's in New York, a real urban legend here in the US, of this killer, this maniac this is crazy, in New York. So that's really good too, because you got some basis for it, some real life terror to go behind your fictional character here. And obviously it's an urban legend, but you know what I'm saying. And apparently another movie I just recently watched for the first time called Mad Max was also supposed to be based off of the Cropsey murder, but they had to change the name because this movie came out right around the same time as that. So that was an interesting fact to know. So Mad Max was also, I think that's the name of it, Mad Max. I just recently watched it. That one's also supposed to be based off of this urban legend for of this cropsy maniac. All right, so let's move on to next is my highlight moment from this movie. I've got to go with the raft kill, of course. I mean, that kill is just so like brutal, like I was saying. Definitely surprises you. It's almost you want to look away from it because it's just so brutal. So that's definitely got to be the highlight moment for this movie. There's just no other way. There's no other highlight moment. Definitely that's the highlight moment for this movie. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go check this movie out, I would have to say. All right, lastly, I'm going to talk about the acting. You guys know. I mean, acting is so subjective, but there's not the best acting in this movie. And it is an 80s slasher film, so we're not going to hold it to like Academy Award winning standards. But it's not the best acting. It's okay. I say this acting is passable, and there's no like terrible, awful acting that just takes away from the movie, in my opinion. So it's just like, yeah, right, sliding right along, right in the middle, acting's fine. Alright guys, so I went out the camera to do my foundation and eyebrows and finish my other eye, blah blah blah. And so now I'm going to come on here and show you guys this new blush I got from Moira. It's not new, but it's new to me, and I just did a review on their new palette, so you can check that video out. I'll link it up in the description box or in the eye. But I wanted to come on here and use this blush from them, very flirty, first time using it, while I give you guys my final thoughts and all that. So looks like that inside. I'm just going to dip into both sides. Alright, so what are my final thoughts? What's my final grade and my final thoughts for should you check this out? So first of all, I want to say that this one is a really good, I think this is good. This is a good horror slasher summary type of movie. Definitely gives me those summer vibes with it being at a summer camp. And it's just really good. I think it's enjoyable. It's easy to just pop in and watch, and it should be enjoyable for everyone, right? In the fam, get together and do like a summer horror movie watch, and this can be on your list. So I do really enjoy it. I think that the overall tone and way that the film was shot, everything was really good. It's very enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend it. So what is my final grade for this one? My final grade would be an A-, just because this is pretty much a really good film. I mean, it's not perfect. Nope, that's why it's got the minus there. But I feel like it's something that I will definitely go back to, and I definitely want to show my family. Like, we all love horror, so they've never seen it. Like I said, it's not super well known, but I definitely want to go back and share my this movie with my family, which lets me know that it is, and one I enjoyed. So I definitely will give this one an A- grade overall, because I just really enjoyed it and I had fun watching it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go off camera, finish all the rest of my makeup that I need to do, and I will be right back at the end. Alright guys, I'm back with this final look. I really do like the blush. I went ham as usual. I had to set my face with some powder to like get some of the color off, and I always go with the Undone Beauty powder because it works really well with dewy and tinted moisturizers and doesn't make me look dry. But anyways, I really do like this blush. It went on smoothly. It's pretty. Love it. And my lip here is from propa Beauty, which is black on brand, in the shade of Profits. I just got these, and I also swatched all 4 of the new shades I got. I already own some, but I got 4 new ones, and I swatched that in the same video where I was testing out the Moira palette. So again, check in the description box. But anyways, this is the final look, and for my final thoughts, again, like I said, definitely check out The Burning. It is a great movie. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're a horror fan, especially if you like to see some good kills and to see a good story, and if you like that summer camp type of slasher film, which I do. I love those types of films. Definitely check this out. It's really good. But yeah, so I'm going to end the video here, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this. You found a new movie to watch, or you saw some products you like for the makeup. And I will just check you guys out in another video, which should be coming soon. I'm going to be coming soon with a haul video, as well as more entertainment videos for you guys, reviews on movies and stuff. So check out and watch out for those as well. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see the upcoming content. I will check you guys out later. Stay safe. Be happy. Adios.